things I like to talk about is that the spine or fine motor skills, they start at the base of the skull, but sometimes it gets interrupted for whatever reason. In her case, the tendency of having a short neck or short neck movements to maintain the sitting is very common with SMA. Instead of leaning back and using the back muscles, which can be non-existent, they tend to lean forward and then shorten the neck and come up to sitting, let's say this way. So one of the things that I like to do, and it's actually a cool technique, I don't do it as often as I should, possibly because there's lots of other things I need to work on, but I'm just lightly rotating and extending through the hair, but my objective is really the head muscles. There, and see, almost like you're swinging. Now the neck muscles can come down to right to about mid-scapula. And I'm just going to be in here. But it's not a same. You know, like when we're swinging, right? Or eating corn on the cob, any of those kind of skills. So I'm just, but see, if I don't use the hair like I'm doing with her, right? What are my other alternatives? Grabbing the neck? I certainly don't want to do that. So, or coming here. I'm not saying I don't use these techniques, but if you do something like that, the compressive tissue that you're putting into the atlas, you have to be very careful of. But you can actually come around here, and she's fine playing away and doing what she needs to do. But I did this yesterday, and I did a lot of things yesterday, so it's never just one part of a movement lesson, but she's never swam so well. She went home and it was so much faster, and you can just see how her dance moves and techniques. I mean, this is such a big difference. If you're not familiar with SMA, the difference of maybe a year ago, especially when her scoliosis was really bad, of her barely being to pick up the arm, and that she's getting to see these synchronized movements. And this is what I'm trying to teach, is see all of this kind of stuff is much more like a, you know, what's supposed to happen is that she's got everything here. Lots of times you see kids with low tone just doing the hands or the eyes. She's just boogieing down. She's got her own groove. She's the happiest little girl in the world. And you just want to bring out these qualities. You know, look at the difference. This isn't about that she's got more, she's stronger. She can just move better. And she's happy. She reminds me a lot like a young version of Betsy here. She's got her own little dance inside of her own little groove, and life is good. See, and she's bouncing through her hips. You know, her hips were so wide before when she had the older hips. She couldn't even just do these kind of movements just because of her structure. Her mom really had to fight for these new hips, and I know people don't want that invasiveness in the surgery, but really within 7 weeks, seeing the changes in her movements. We're going to do a paper on her to show how hips and structure affect movement. So her sublux hips, then the hips that they gave in, plus then now these new ones that are more proper format. I think we got 115 degrees on the femoral heads, and to really show all of this. And it's the fact that she's so special to offer this to us is pretty cool. Thanks, guys.